Righto, good evening. My name's Tony. My moniker on this thing is going to be Shiny Head 1980. It is shiny. The lighting is not that great in here. I do apologise. I'm doing it in my relating room. I should probably be cranking out a couple of 109 mils because I've got a shoot on Wednesday night, but I'm not. I am going to do a couple of gun reviews. The first one is going to be my second handgun, which is an awesome bit of kit. This is the Springfield ARMOURY 1911 A1 range officer in 9mm. Little side note for any of you watching from overseas or in that lovely place called the United States where you're allowed to have just about whatever the hell you want, wherever the hell you want. We have a government that doesn't like guns. Basically anything over 38, 9mm, 357, we have to have a special provision on our license. We have to shoot certain matches. Metallic silhouette, cowboy action, which are both very, very fun, and I like shooting both of them. But it's a hassle, so at the moment I'm only endorsed for the 9mm 38, which is what I've got. I've got two of them. I'm only allowed to without jumping through a lot of hoops and it being a complete pain. So with that in mind, okay, I purchased this gun probably about 4 months ago. I had a couple of weeks to wait till it turned up. Bought it from a gun shop here in Brisbane, Cleaver Firearms. I don't receive any money from Cleaver Firearms. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm just someone who likes to talk about this stuff. Okay, so quick safety check. All right, slide back, locked in, beautiful. While we've got that out, there is nothing in the butt. Okay, nothing up there, nothing in the chamber. Voila, except a lot of grease and carbon because I haven't cleaned it, which I'll probably do tonight after I'm done here. Okay, while we're on the go, and we've got it locked back, we have this very nice match grade barrel, slightly bulged at the front to lock up, inside the stainless steel match grade bushing. Very nice bit of kit, very accurate. Slide release, very good, very positive, very nice. We have an extended safety, which you may or may, hang on, not be able to see. Yep, okay, you can see that there. It's a really nice bit of kit. Skeletonized Delta hammer, and the skeletonized aluminium trigger. And realistically, I could have bought the stainless steel loaded version, which is also a very nice pistol. A friend of mine has one. I've shot it several times, but I went with this primarily because it's a national match frame, tight tolerance frame, more accurate. The downside to that is after about 500 rounds shooting hand loads and stuff like that, or just about anything, this thing starts to lock up. It is very tight. I can't speak highly enough of it. It's a great bit of kit. Bowmar style front sights and rear sights, very good. Target sights, not dot sights. You know, great fun. As I said before, this firearm is unloaded, so while I'm waving it around, there's no danger of me blowing my own head off. We've got an empty chamber indicator, so you get some light in that and see if there's brass in there, and away you go. Other than that, what have we got? We've got a very nice checkered mag release button. We've got some gorgeous grips on this thing. It is, look, for the money I paid for it, I would have bought two of these. I'd love one in 45. I have heard that a lot of people are using them as a starting point for custom guns, and realistically, it's got everything you want to start competition shooting. It's not a high-end gun. It's not horribly expensive, and I think for the demographic the Springfield Armory we're aiming at, it is right on the money. You know, it hasn't got all the crap and the bells and the whistles and the weird shit on that you see on some high-end guns. There's nothing flash or fancy about it. It just does the job and does it well. I had a couple of trips to the indoor range I go to, and basically decided to tune the sights in for my hand loads, which generally run around 125 grain, either berries or Hawkesbury with a cast projectile. The berries are a plated bullet. Basically use the same load in it, which is about 3.5, 3.6 grains of AP50, which by the way is getting hard to find. I was using AP70, but I went through that tin really, really quickly, and here we are using AP50. But that's all right. ADI make good powders. We can't get a lot of foreign stuff in Australia, and that's life, so we just got to deal with it. Anyone watching in the USA, send more gunpowder. Send more guns, please. Anyhow, I am a clown. You'll either love me or hate me. I really don't care. Okay, so we've got the Springfield Armory logo embossed on there. You probably can't see that very well because, like I said, the light's pretty crappy. One thing I love about the finish on this thing, it's like a parkerized finish. It's just a flat finish, not a lot of reflection on it. It's really nice. You scratch this thing, like I've worn it with a semi-skeleton leather holster that I've got. Fits very nicely into it. Occasionally, if I wear jeans, it actually rubs on the brass studs of my jeans. That's not a real big deal. Basically, get some oil, give it a good scrub, and you polish the scratches out of it in about 5 minutes. It's awesome. I love it. The first time I scratched it, I just about cried. And then I realised that, you know what, I bought this thing not as a safe clean. I bought it to use it, shoot it, and love it. And I've been doing a very good job of that. Several of my friends have shot the pistol. They've got nothing but good things to say about it. The only thing that I wasn't overly fond of was the trigger does have a little bit of creep. We're talking less than an eighth of an inch, but you can notice it when you're doing a slow trigger pull. Other than that, look, someone competent could probably do a really nice trigger job on this thing for under $100, and eventually that's probably what's going to happen. With the extended safety, it is for a righty. Okay, there is no provision for a left-hander unless you upgrade the safety. And being that I'm a left-hander, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. So, for the moment, I'm working around that. It's not much fun when you're shooting IPSC and all that sort of stuff. Other than that, we've got a really nice memory bump on the beaver tail, which is the other thing that is, you know, very nice, very positive. The trigger does, once you get through that bit of creep, which is about there, which is bugger all, trigger breaks very nicely. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Seriously, if you are looking for your first centerfire pistol or another centerfire pistol in 9mm or 45, I would highly recommend having a look at one of these because it is the duck's nuts. I cannot speak highly enough of it. I should have bought two. I wish I'd bought two. I could probably still buy two, but then I would have hassles with the government, and it's just a pain. Other than that, seriously, if you can get your hands on one and shoot it before you buy it, by all means, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think Springfield Armory really hit their demographic when they actually put this thing out. It's not priced ridiculously. I think in the States they're buying them for $700 or something stupid like that. Obviously, being where we are in Australia, we don't get that. But realistically, I would have paid a little bit more for it. It's got all the stuff on it that I wanted and none of the stuff that I didn't. You know, really good dovetails and easy to strip. The only thing that sort of I didn't clue up on, I was having problems with it gumming up after about 300 rounds, and I actually worked out that I was lubricating it wrong. So this thing doesn't need a hell of a lot of lubrication. Lubricate the slide rails with a really good quality oil, not a lot. Wipe the excess off, and away you go. You know, every now and again, dab a bit down the back of the trigger, and off you're set. The whole kit that it came in, because it came in a really nice Pelican style case with the Springfield Armory logo on it in relief. 2 magazines, Springfield Armory mags, had no problems with them. I did buy 3 STIs, which were also 9-shotters. The springy ones are 9-shotters as well. One of them has, the STIs I'm talking about now, has some slight issues. It won't hold the slide open every now and again, probably more often than not, but beyond that, that's a gunsmithing problem. You know, I'm not going to try and fix it. I'll get someone else to fix it, or I'll just chuck the magazine. I've also got 2 Chip McCormack Shooting Star 38 Super Mags, which I've been running in it, which have run absolutely flawlessly, and I'll probably get a couple more because they're 10-shotters, one place, the whole box of dice. About $110, a little bit pricey, but you get what you pay for. You know. Obviously, you could go out and you could buy a much more expensive firearm than this. You could buy yourself a Nighthawk Custom, you could buy yourself a Wilson, the list goes on and on, a Les Bayer if you can actually find one. But for those sorts of guns, you're talking $2,500 plus. Even STI, you know, some of their guns, you know, once you get above the Trojan, which is slightly more expensive than this generally, and the Spartan, which runs about $1,000, both really good guns. I think the main reason I didn't buy one is a friend of mine has Springfield Armory. And sorry about that, my computer just blacked out. And I'd shot his. I was very impressed with it. And when that came up, I just went, you know what? I want one. I'm getting one. To hell with it. I was fortunate enough, my dad many years ago owned a Smith & Wesson Model 39, which I would love to have, but it got crushed in the buyback of '98. Thank you very much, John Bloody Howard. So, I managed to acquire all his gear, mag carriers and stuff like that, a shitload of brass, a whole lot of projectiles, and rapidly working my way through it, and have come to the conclusion that I need to get a progressive press. So, I'll stop waffling on. Like I said, if you get a chance to shoot one of these things, by all means, do it. I don't think you regret it. They are a really great piece of kit, and honestly, for the money, you can't beat it. The presentation of the gun is fabulous. The case it comes into is excellent. It's lockable. The other thing that I really like, I do have small kids, so obviously all my stuff gets locked up. But this gun has something that a lot of guns do not have. It actually has a safety lock, which, if I can get the angle right on this thing, is that little round thing just above my finger. So basically that's a 2-pin lock. Stick it in, rotate it, and it locks the gun up. You can't cock it, you can't rack the slide, and it will not fire, or it shouldn't fire, more to the point. The other thing to be aware of is if you do something and put the lock on and it can fire, you've got issues. You really need to strip your pistol and have a look at it, or get someone competent and qualified to do it. I like to tinker with stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the time I break stuff. So the other thing is, it's only got this normal GI guide rod. It's not a big long full length critter where you need an Allen key to break it down. It's basically push that in, flip the bush, pull the spring out, and flip it the other way, bush, slide, the whole lot comes apart. It takes me about 10 seconds to strip this thing down, to field strip it and clean it. It is a national match frame, so it is a tight tolerance frame, and when you actually pull this off, it's got the last 3 digits of the serial number actually electro-penciled into the slide. That's because they're done as a set. When they build these things, the slide and the frame stay together. And honestly, the accuracy that I get out of this thing, while I haven't been able to put it in the ransom rest, I'm pretty confident at 50 metres I'm going to be shooting, 2 to 3 inch groups, which I'm going to try and do this weekend, hopefully. So, thank you very much for watching. Be safe, keep shooting, don't let the politicians stick it to you. And remember, if you are looking for a 1911 and 9mm or 45 caliber and you want an entry-level gun for competition or plinking or whatever that's going to take a few knocks, you can't go past the range officer. Other videos I'd recommend you take a look at, Hickok 45, if you're a YouTube aficionado and a firearms aficionado like me, you will probably be spending a lot of time looking at his videos, and he does a really good review, much better than mine. Anyways, good night, have a good week, stay safe. Thanks very much.